So in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you all Tenderfoot requirements 4A and 4B, which for 4A, it is show first aid for the following: simple cuts and scrapes, blisters on the hand or foot, minor burns or scalds, bites or stings of insects and ticks, venomous snakebite, nosebleed, frostbite and sunburn, and choking. So I will demonstrate and show you all how to do first aid for all of those things. Secondly, for requirement 4B, there is describe common poisonous or hazardous plants. Identify any that grow in your local area or campsite location. Tell how to treat for exposure to them. So I will show you all how to do that. So for first, I am going to show you all simple cuts and scrapes and how to treat them. So the way to treat simple cuts and scrapes is they look like this and this. The way to treat them is first you want to wash them with soap and water. Then you want to apply antibiotic ointment such as like bacitracin or polysporin or something like that. And then you want to apply a sterile bandage on top of it. So now I will show you all how to deal with blisters on the hand or on the foot. A lot of times people have blisters whenever they've been walking around or running around, versus sometimes I get them after playing soccer. So the first thing you want to do is you want to identify the area, and then you want to wash it off with soap and water. So the reason you want to do this is so you can disinfect it. Then after that you want to get moleskin. It's a small soft like kind of padding that goes around it to prevent rubbing on the blister itself. Next thing we have is minor burns and scalds. So what these look like, they look like this and this. So a lot of times you can get these from accidentally pouring boiling water on yourself, maybe accidentally getting too close to the fire, or maybe burning yourself while you were cooking or something like that. So these are superficial burns, they're very minor, and the way you treat them is first you want to keep the area cool. That means that you can either run it over cool water, but not cold, because that'll burn it again, but just cool. You know what I mean? If you don't have that, you can do like a cold compress or something like that. And then you want to apply burn cream or aloe vera. The next thing that we need to talk about is how to treat venomous snake bites. So a lot of times these can come from coral snakes, cottonmouths, copperheads, or rattlesnakes. The first thing you need to do, call 911, tell 911 what kind of snake it was, if possible. Okay, so next thing you want to do, you want to remove all sorts of jewelry that they have on. You want to remove this so nothing gets clogged up or so their blood flow doesn't get constricted or anything like that. Next thing you want to do is you want to de-elevate the affected area. You want to move the area below the heart so gravity prevents the venom from going to your heart, which whenever the venom goes to your heart, you die. So then after that, you want to keep the victim calm. You want to keep the victim calm because you want to reduce their blood flow. And if they're nervous, their heart's going to be pumping fast, which means blood's going to be going everywhere quicker. Then after that, you want to make sure that you do not bind, constrict, or press down on the wound in any way because you don't want to spread the venom quicker. Be sure you get the victim to medical care as soon as possible. Next thing that we have to talk about is how to treat a nosebleed. So you want to have the person lean forward, and you want them to hold down on their nose right below the bone. So you want them to press down on their nose right below the bone of their nose. Then you want them to also, while they're holding down their nose, press on their top lip. Once they apply pressure to their top lip and plug their nose while leaning forward, this will stop the nosebleed as quick as possible. If the nosebleed keeps happening while doing all that, it's over 10 minutes, you might need to get medical attention. Next thing that we are going to talk about is how to treat frostbite and sunburns. So for frostbite looks like very, very cold, white or grayish patches of skin. And the frostbite is whenever the blood freezes in those parts. So it's going to die. Like that little part of skin is going to die if it's not brought out of the frostbite and the blood is not thawed. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to heat up the area, but you don't want to just run hot water over it because that will burn the skin again. The best way to do it is through skin-to-skin contact. And you want to get the victim to shelter and out of the cold if possible. Once they're out of the cold, you want to do skin-to-skin contact. Like for instance, if this is on my hand, you might want to put it into somebody's armpit or in between their legs or something like that. Really, really warm areas of your body in order to heat up their part of the hand. If it's very, very severe, you want to get the victim just completely out of the cold into shelter, like last time. You want to change their clothing, get them into warm, dry clothing, wrap them in blankets so they can conserve body heat, and then do the same thing. If you are 100% sure that the victim will not be going back into the cold, you can also keep their affected body part in warm but not hot water until it gets recolored back to normal. Next, You want to bandage the area? Do you want to keep it covered? So, however, you don't want to bandage it like tight at all. You want to use warm, very loose, dry bandages. It's mainly just for covering the area and making sure it doesn't stay exposed to the cold. Next thing up on our list is how to treat insect bites, stings, and tick bites. So for insect bites, what you want to do is you want to treat it like a minor cut. So that means that you use soap and water, wash it off, then you cover it with a sterile bandage or something like that, and you can cover it in like Neosporin and Bacitrate, which is antibiotic ointment. For insect stingers, you want to use a flat surface like a credit card or a pocket knife to slowly push the stinger out of the wounds. Then you want to treat it like a minor cut, which means soap and water, antibiotic ointment, sterile bandage. You want to watch for signs of swelling. If it starts to swell up, you can use a cold compress, and you can just make sure that they don't have difficulty breathing or if they go into shock. If they have difficulty breathing when they go into shock, you want to contact immediate medical attention. For tick bites, what you want to do is you want to put on medical gloves. Then, using tweezers, you want to grab the head as close to the skin as possible. You don't want to squeeze it at all. Because you don't want to get the head stuck inside of them. You just want to lightly grab it as close to the skin as possible, and then you want to pull it out. So then after that, you want to treat it like a minor cut. So that means soap and water, antibiotic ointment, sterile bandage.
For choking, first you want to ask them quickly if they are choking. If they nod yes or can't speak or cough, then you should quickly help them. If the person is coughing, they can still breathe. First, you want to give them 5 firm blows to the mid to upper back with the base of your palm, so between the shoulder blades. If the back blows don't dislodge the object, then continue with the Heimlich maneuver. You want to stand behind the victim, make a fist with one hand, and you want to place the thumb outside against the victim's abdomen, above their belly button, and below the ribs. Quickly thrust inward and upward into the abdomen. It will launch the object out of their trachea. So now we are going on to Tenderfoot requirement 4B.
Describe common poisonous or hazardous plants. Identify any that grow in your local area or campsite location. Tell how to treat for exposure to them. So I will show you all how to do that.
In our local area, we have 3 hazardous plants that we need to keep an eye out for whenever we're on campouts. First, we have poison ivy, which looks like a 3-leaved climbing vine, and it has shiny leaves with smooth edges. The vine that it's on is hairy, and it is common in wooded areas. Secondly, we have poison oak. Poison oak is not as common as poison ivy, but it looks like a woody vine or shrub. Grows in groups of 3 or 5 leaves, and it is bright red in the fall. It is most common in wooded areas, dry barrens, and coastal plains, not tolerant of heavy shade. Next is poison sumac. Poison sumac looks like a shrub or small tree. It grows in groups of 7 or 13 slender leaves. This one is also a deep red in the fall. This one is more common in swampy or boggy areas. Poison ivy, poison oak, and poison sumac are all very hazardous if you touch them. They can give you a rash and make you itchy. Also, you should not eat them. That's common sense. Thank you all for watching and have a good day.